process with our rabbits when it comes to feeding them every morning. We try and do this on a regular schedule, although we are a little bit behind today because we were expecting it to get a little warmer. First thing, if you ever handle rabbits, I would suggest having sleeves on, even if it's in the middle of summer. Because they do have claws, they do get excited, and they will get you. And they have gotten me. So yeah, wear sleeves. It also protects your stomach because I've been cut across there too. But first we start with the Tower of Power, or the condos, whichever you want to call them. This is our apartment complex for them. Done. Leave low, low, low. We have Heath, who's our standard Rex. We have Wendy, who is a mini Rex. And then we have Lola, who's actually a mix of Rex and Rolo, which is Tamook.
Donnie loves our rabbits.
He just likes the little people. Oh. Good morning, little guy.
That guy up there, Heath, we call him Batman. He loves pets.
We have to protect everything we have just in case it rains and it leaks. We don't want to put it in.
So we're true urban homesteaders. We live in a cookie cutter neighborhood, so we only have rabbits. We're wanting to move so that we can have more animals, but at this time, we wanted to go ahead and start. So we started with rabbits. So right now he's feeding Wendy. She's our resident mama right now. Don't mind the poop. We have to clean out their condos. And there you can see she has kits right now. I don't know if this is focusing enough for you guys, but
since we're standing right there, she's not going to go over now that she has something to eat.
So there's Wendy. She's an otter mini Rex. She's a great mom. And she has the biggest babies. Oh.
Yeah.
Currently,
enormous for 10 days old.
Yeah, they're currently 10 days old. And they are huge.
Since Wendy is the one nursing and helping her kiddos, we have a separate bowl in here. So we're adding seed to her diet.
She gets Boss every single day. For those of you that don't know, Boss is black oil sunflower seeds, and they're great for lactating moms and for cold weather. Most of her rabbits get a little bit during winter, but she gets a lot more. All the moms do when they're lactating.
That's what I thought.
And she loves those.
She prefers those, but she's hungry.
So their food consists mainly of I keep pressing the volume on this thing. Her food consists mainly of her regular pellet feed, plus we also add supplements to all the rabbits to get them in good coat, to help them molt, to regulate their own weight, that sort of thing. And they also get hay.
Every day. Do you want to get a no, you did get a shot. It's two. Good old Lola. She's waiting patiently and she's hungry.
So little Lola right there is actually Wendy's starter with Rolo, who you'll meet shortly. So she's a mini Rex Tamook mix. Normally everybody tells you not to breed a bigger rabbit to a smaller doe, a bigger buck to a smaller doe. But in our case, it works out really well. Wendy really likes Rolo and always takes from him. So far she's given us about, 20 kits? Mm-hmm. We've had 20 kits with that mix, so fingers crossed it keeps working.
Different. It's weird. If you look at her body, once you see her dad, you'll see it. She has her dad's body, but her mother's ears. which is why it looks kind of short on her.
And right now, little Lola is also bred.
There you go, baby girl. I'm sorry for the wait. I know, we're bothering you. She's a private rabbit. What can we say? She gets seeds. Whoa. Okay. You really wanted to eat your seeds.
She's like seeds. Yum, 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 yum.
Next to though, oh, they're like cuties. What we call the twins. I have to get their bowls out first.
We call them
And
the
you'll see why.
twins because they are sisters. We got them at the same time, and we're trying out colony breeding, so we have them together. We're hoping that we get them both breeding at the same time so that we can keep them together in one hutch.
You're gonna get fed. I promise you.
So they have their big hutch,
I'm hungry, baby girl. Ever.
and also they have a tub inside that's really big so that they can get in there and get away from the elements.
I should have brought out the brush. Should have brought out the brush. Normally we open the cages and clean it out with a wire brush.
So everybody's really active right now because they have not eaten. This is our morning ritual, so everybody's ready to be fed. These girls, we call them the twins, but the one with the little white spot on her nose, that's Maddie, short for Madeline. And then the other one, that's Jamie. And they are Californian Flemish giant mix. So we're hoping to get some amazing looking rabbits when bred to Rollo. Again, you'll meet him shortly. He is the best little buck, so adorable, really nice to our does, and has amazing babies.
Hopefully they give us big kids.
We just started doing this too. We used to feed them
Whoa.
together,
Hey,
but
hey,
since they're
relax.
getting bigger, we started
It's right here. There's
separating
one.
their feeding because Maddie's a little bit more dominant than Jamie is, and that way we can be assured that everybody's getting their portion, even though they mostly eat together.
I'll eat from the other one. Yeah, there you go. I'll have to go into the garage and get more hay since we are completely out of our bag out here.
So you guys might also notice we have these tubes going in. Those are the water line. We decided early on that we didn't want to do bottles because we have to refill them constantly. They're also a lot easier to freeze and a lot harder to cool down. So we have these tubs. We currently have 3. We have these tubs and they get refilled maybe every other day. If they're not drinking a lot, it can be every 2 days so that everybody has their water. Everybody has it available. It's always fresh. If it's warm outside, it stays cool. And if it's cool, it doesn't freeze as much. So, and now the big reveal, Rollo.
Come here, Rollo.
He's always hiding back there.
He comes forward.
He
sometimes.
is-
What is up with you, buddy? Come here. I'm not gonna pull on you. Okay, stay back there if you want.
Let's see if we can get a closer shot of Rollo in here.
He sees mom. He might come forward.
He's a chocolate Tamook, or some people call them Altex. He is so adorable, the nicest buck you will ever meet. He throws amazing looking babies. Whoever you breed him to, you'll be assured that you'll have an amazing looking bunny. He's going through his molt right now. He does that a lot. But yeah, he's amazing. Rolly, say hi. Say hi, everybody. So as you can see, every single cage has a tub. We use those as hutches. In the winter, they stay warm. In the summer, they cool off a little bit. All of them have it. It's a preference if they use it or if they don't. And it's stuffed with hay so that they can lay in there and be comfortable.
Here, Rolly. We'll try not to bother you. Funny, out of our bucks, he is the less aggressive. Well, he wasn't always that way.
Well, with Dad. Everybody's always really nice to me. So everybody completely understands Mom's the one that dispatches. Let's all be nice to her. That's Betsy. She's an adorable looking little girl. We bred her currently, so we're hoping we get some kits out of her with that broken color. She is a standard Rex, and she's just the sweetest little thing. Lately, after we bred her, she's been coming out of her shell, so.
You okay, baby girl? You're just hungry? Oh, yeah, we gotta add some hay. You're eating it out of there. Okay. We'll get you. We always do. Those stun dishes have been great for us.
So yeah, as you can see, we don't have that huge of a backyard, but we make the most use out of it. We do leave that back area open because we have a huge dog. Anybody who has big dogs know they poop a lot, so they need their space.
Yes, and I understand the lawn needs to be mowed.
But it's been really wet lately.
Lately we've been having rain or wetness every 2 days or so, and it hasn't had a chance to dry out, and my mower won't handle a lot of hard work, unfortunately.
So to everybody wondering, we have green tarps on top of all the hutches. We made ours out of shelving because I really wanted them to be protected. I didn't expect anything to come into our yard, but in case it did, any cats or anything like that, I didn't want to risk our animals. So we made them out of shelving. And then on top, we put wood. It does have a top, a shelving top as well, but we put wood so that they have a little bit more protection. And then the tarps are in case it rains, it gets windy, a lot of sun, we can go ahead and cover them. Currently you guys won't see this, but we also have little fans we attached when it gets really hot. We took those off because it's winter, so they don't need them. They really love this weather.
Well, except for if you can't really see on the other side of here. The box fan is still on the other side of theirs.
Oh yeah, the twins.
They get a 20-inch box fan. Be jealous.
Okay, so this area of hutches is what we normally call the grow out hutch. But we're not using it as such at this time. So if we start over here with Pedro, you'll notice he has that gray coloration as Lola did over at the tower.
Yep, from the same family.
He is a buck from the same litter as Lola. He's actually going to be dispatched at some point. He's a gorgeous little buck as well. All of our rabbits are really sweet. They are very easy to be handled. And they grow really well, which is amazing.
That's why I protect myself. He jumped off my chest and my arm and would have gouged both.
And it's not like they do it on purpose. It's just when we are scheduling to process, we don't really trim the nails, which we should a lot more, but we don't trim the nails as much.
He nearly got through it.
So, yeah, that's Pedro. We normally don't name them, but hubby thought we were going to keep him, and then turns out we didn't need to, so he's going to be processed. Really sweet little buck. We give them a tile so that they can lay on. Like I said, this hutch in itself, it's a little bit smaller because it's for our processing animals. We don't keep them here that long. He was an exception. And I'll go into the other two and why they're here, which is kind of a funny story.
See this nice little mix. I gave him a little bit more. Get down. Thank you. Here you go, bud. Have at it. He regulates himself very well. The others, not so much. There's gotta be a better way. This is Blue.
Blue is short for Bluebell. She is actually one of our breeders.
Nice.
She is in the grow out hutch because Blue had decided that she was not going to breed. We tried breeding her with Rollo, and we tried breeding her with Heath, and she had decided that she wasn't going to live for us. So,
Not to mention she gets a little aggressive with us.
So, due to that, we said that, which is our standard, if you're not breeding and we're not selling you, then you are being processed. So she was moved to the grow out hutch, which is our processing hutch. Anybody here, we jokingly say they are in death row. Fortunately for her, Mom is a forgiving mom, so I have kept trying to breed her to our 2 bucks, and yesterday she magically lifted. She had just 1 fall, but we're very hopeful that she's actually bred, because she's a gorgeous looking little girl.
Little subjective.
Yeah, little
She
subjective.
also went to that cage because we needed to curtail her diet a little bit more, and she had to lose a little bit of weight because she was becoming a bit lethargic.
Yeah, she was at 10 pounds, almost 11. We believe she's gone down a pound and a few ounces, which is why she lifted.
I got you.
And then we have Lily at the very end. Lily, for the longest time, we thought was a Pedro as well. And it turned out
She was not
that Lily was a girl. She is also the sister to Lola and Pedro, who you met. They're all Wendy's and Rollo's kids. So we bred her when we found out she was a girl. And she immediately lifted for our other buck, Heath, Mr. Batman. So we are expecting a gorgeous litter from her. And she
short ears, wide face. That
she
takes after her father.
is a big girl. Last time we weighed her, she was 6 pounds, a few ounces, almost 7 pounds. Mind you, her mom, her regular weight should be about 4 pounds. And this is her daughter. She already surpassed her, so.
Yeah, but she takes after Dad.
Yeah, Rollo's a big boy.
Aren't you? See, I don't mind being held.
And again, all of our bunnies are really friendly. They let you hold them. They're not that skittish. But they do jump into their cage when it's open, so watch out for that.
She's like, I will get myself there. You can get me there. Wow. Ugh. She doesn't have any patience. Yes, I know. Your food is coming, I promise. Whew, she grazed my hand on that one. Yeah, if you ever notice, I'll have cuts on my hands too. That was the last one.
He has a
Got me
lot
right
of
across
them. They
the
freak
ear.
me out every time I see them. I don't know how he gets them. I don't get as many cuts as he does, but you know.
Or maybe it's because you're not nicer than I am.
Yeah, everybody knows I'm the one that processes. So I think they all give me a little bit more niceness than they do to Dad. So
Alright.
they're like, Mom is not joking. If we're mean to her, we're gone. That said, because we joke a lot about processing, we are extremely nice to our rabbits. They get fed extremely well. They get their pellets, their... oh, look, while we were talking, somebody came up here. Hi, Rolly.
What?
Let's see if we can open up
Wanna come
your
out of the
cage.
What is wrong? Huh?
Oh, back he goes.
You want attention?
Rolly. Come here, Rolly.
You want in? You're doing good. Good. Your food is right there. Yeah, have some food. Demanding for attention. Rolo, you don't want to come up front?
He was up front and then he's like, nope, I am not going to be on
You can
camera.
leave that down. Funny thing is, you could leave this down and Rolo won't go anywhere.
Yeah,
He likes
Rolo's.
staying in his cage.
We've actually accidentally left it open before, and we've come back out inside, and he'll just stand there and look at you like, you left my cage open. What's going on? Extremely nice buck. We are also trying to grow some stuff. We really don't have a green thumb, but my mother does. So she does most of the growing and stuff. And you can see right there, it's a chunky little thing with other little ones coming in. So we have that one out here because it's winter. We're about to take it inside, and then we have like 5 or 6 other plants inside the home as well. This is the back of the Tower of Power. We have another bucket that's just for the tower, and then we put extra stuff right there. Our feed. And I am so sorry, guys, if I'm moving a lot. I don't usually record, so this is a new step for all of us. So bear with us, we'll get better as we go.
What's that?
The moving of the camera while we're recording. They're the twins.
And for people who ever wonder why we don't have a rabbit run, there is an issue in Texas right now with grass. Rabbits feeding on it. And we typically don't do that because it's the disease that rots them from the inside out.
Right. It's either RHA or RHD. We read a couple of things about it, and we don't want to risk it, so our rabbits are off of the ground, as you can see. I just think it's healthier. I would love to have the grow outs on a pen that they can eat grass, but we also give them, they have their supplement in their pellets, plus we give them cilantro. They really, really love that. They occasionally get carrots, not so much necessary for rabbits, but they like the flavor. Oh, we're getting a sneak peek. As you can see, he doesn't even try and jump out. Really, really, really nice buck. Which has been in our favor at this time, but with the exception of Blue over there, which we had to put with Heath the first time. Heath is a really nice buck as well. He was the first one on top of the Tower of Power. But he's a little bit more aggressive with the girls, meaning that if they say no, he will continue trying and scratch them a little and bite them, not hard, but bite them at the nape of the neck to let them know, hey, I mean business. Whereas Rolo is a lot more of a lover. He'll lay next to them and nuzzle until they get into the mood.
You just need hay for everybody? Okay. Get everybody hay. We're gonna go reload. There we go. Here he comes. Come on, Rolls. He's like in camera shot. Leave me alone. What's the matter, Rolls? We're not taking you out. It's your day off. Yeah. We gotta go get you hay. I know you want some.
So they're really enjoying this weather. Anybody who has rabbits outside knows this. They really enjoy that cooler weather, not necessarily like freezing temperatures, but cool weather where it's not so hot, they get a lot more active. Right now, everybody's pretty much calm because they're stuffing their faces first thing in the morning. But you see them jumping around a lot once they do that, finish their food.
Yeah. The heat is a killer here in North Texas, so we got to be careful with that. In combination with their fans during the summer, we actually have large sun-kissed water bottles that we bring out here. So those will stay cool for 3 to 4 hours in the hottest part of the day and try and keep them going. Another thing that we do that most people do not is we don't really breed during the summer because it's just too hard on them. Wendy just happened to be
Very
pregnant
receptive.
this summer, and it got pretty brutal. We actually ran out and bought a new cage to put in the house and to have her in there while her kids were developing for most of the summer.
The previous batch. So that batch would be Lola, Lily, and Pedro. Those are the ones that were inside during the summer. And as you can see, they fared pretty well. Really big size rabbits, really
They
friendly.
enjoyed the high life. In time, full side.
So they had air conditioning, and then they just moved outside and they're like, "What's going on here, humans?" So that was a shock to them.
Yeah, well, it didn't stop them from being active. Most of Wendy kids are typically in and out of their nest and jumping around and bothering their mom.
She's a really great mom. She weans them really, really early, which at first, the first batch we had with her, we were
Oh.
really worried about.
So you're satisfied first?
But her kids are really big, especially since she's a mini Rex, and they all of them turn out to be at least 6 pounds by the time they hit 10 weeks. So we were pleasantly surprised. We decided if she wants to win them early, better for her. We still give her about a 10 to 14 week break before we rebreed her. So I mean, she's been doing great. She gains weight a lot though, but she produces. She's really friendly. She's had no health issues, so we're happy with what she's doing.
Who dunked? No,
I
they
don't know.
just pushed. Okay. One reason why we don't have feeders in some of these other ones that you'll see bowls is because with the feeders, they were actually digging into them and pulling all their food out, and it was just getting wasted.
And we are big on not wasting in here. I tell everybody that we love you. You will be treated amazingly while you're here, but you do serve a purpose in our homestead. You're here as breeders, so that means that you have to stay in shape, and also you cannot waste feed. So
Who is doing that?
it is
It's him.
Lily.
It's her.
She keeps pulling her bowl closer to herself.
And keeps spilling everything out. Lily, stop doing that. Oh, you're such a pain. If you ever follow us online, we also will have pictures of earlier
See?
batches. There we
Pulls
go.
it closer. Like if somebody was in there with her.
We have earlier batches where some of the kids, when they had feeders in there, would actually lay in the feeder while eating.
This little lady right here, when she was smaller and could do it, she was in actually another pen similar to that one. And we had a feeder in there for her, and she would sit on top of her feeder and pee from on top, and then jump down, look at it, and then jump back up and try and sleep on it. So she got a bowl.
She's a lot calmer today, though. You know you're on camera, don't you? Don't you? But yeah, that's pretty much what we go through every day with these guys. They do get to run around. Occasionally we'll let them in the house. We'll either block it up upstairs where they can't go down the stairs with a gate, or we'll let them run around our living room and just play it out. Last time we had Betsy in there with the twins on the end, and they didn't exactly get along. Betsy tried to take a bite out of one of them, but I mean, we have to let them run around.
For all of you that don't know, rabbits are actually territorial, especially the females. Does are extremely territorial, which is why everybody tells you to take the the doe to the buck instead of the buck to the doe. Because if you put a buck in a doe's cage, she will actually attack him. And there's been records, or people have said that females will actually castrate a buck. So you always take the doe to the buck.
And even in some cases, it depends on the doe. Because we had one previously that we took her to Rollo, and she took a bite out of his thigh.
And he squealed so much. Needless to say, that doe is no longer with us. She went to freezer camp.
Let's be fair. She went to freezer camp because we lost her to the heat. She didn't adjust very well.
That, and I am really partial to Rollo. I really like him. He's an amazing buck. So she was gonna go to freezer camp regardless. That, and I am also a strong advocate of not having in your line any animals that are aggressive. I do not like it to be bitten, so any animal that shows any sort of aggression, we double check to make sure that there's nothing physically wrong with them. It's not because they're hungry or anything like that that we could disregard them being aggressive for. And if it's just their temperament, they go into freezer camp.
I think we're going to stop this right here. I'm just going to run into the garage and grab some more hay. Hay, which is a big deal during the winter. We pick up a whole bale. You can get it from Tractor Supply for 12, 13 bucks. You can get some stuff cheaper, but the cheaper stuff is straw. This isn't straw. But typically it'll last us an entire winter.
Hay has more nutrients than straw, which is why we don't give straw.
Now, during the summer, our last one actually lasted about 6 months. So it lasts a good long while. We'll go ahead and end that right there. Appreciate anybody who tuned in. And I hope everybody has a happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.